All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Excuse me. Welcome to this hard way to hell race between kyzentun and Tilimorf. We've got default hard way to hell settings for this one. Should be pretty fun. Definitely some very solid runners. Of the two, I would say Tilly definitely has something of a movement advantage. However, kyzentun is more familiar with some of the more esoteric tricks that this game has to offer, and so I think it would probably be fair to call him a favorite here. But we'll have to see what the this race holds. It's an interesting suit from kyzentun. Tilly going with his typical Murgatroyd sprite. All right, and a Spazer to start off. Definitely not unwelcome. Even just a little damage supplement on enemies can be significant, but generally not really what you're hoping to find. Hard Way to Hell will never give you what you're hoping to find, though. Part of the settings of this are that it has the slowest progression speed. Part of what that does mean, though, is that breaking logic can be extremely powerful. It's just that breaking logic is not super easy, obviously. Anything that can be in logic through Varia is in logic. But that doesn't include everything that you can do in this game without doing any major glitches. So, for example, bootless, suitless Meridia is not in logic, but is very doable, and is, in my opinion, a solid play. Or like, and I think we've already seen Space Jump at Main Street twice this tournament, because it's so easy to like be locked behind a lot of gates. Main Street Missiles is always loaded. I swear, it always has an item. Like, if it doesn't have an item, you are almost expecting that the suit you'll find is going to be Varia. Anyway, we have to find bombs, power bombs, speed or screw here. We're not going to find screw, though, because it's not in the item pool. And we do find speed. So nice early on. It does mean that our runners might not have to do the Cathedral Hell Run, although there still is the case that power bombs show up really late. And, like, if the first power bomb pack is in Cathedral, then our runners would have to do. Is in Cathedral or in anywhere in Bubble Mountain, then our runners would have to do the Cathedral Hell Run anyway. Chat asking how much of suitless Lower North or how much of suitless Norfair is in logic? All. Eight tanks puts Lower Norfair in logic, I'm pretty sure. Plus some number of crystal flashes. And notably, a maximum of one suit is in this seed. So Varia might not be in the seed at all. Also, you'll notice that there are a lot of item locations that have had nothing. Uh, so we're missing at least one suit, Screw Attack, and Plasma, always. Um, and in addition to that, our runners only get access this seed to 60% of maximum ammo. So I want to say it's something like 27 items are always going to just have nothing. All right, and we do find supers. We had to either be finding supers or power bombs, like pretty much right here. And a second E-tank already. That's not nothing. And Kyzentun's fighting Spore Spawn. This is kind of interesting. It's also possible he's safe scumming and trying to get the speedball to do Spore Spawn skip. But no, he's just fighting Spore Spawn. That speedball is really hard. So if pretty much specifically power bombs are here, this is pretty significant for Kyzentun. Otherwise, it's a pretty big time loss. But in these seeds, honestly, like, if you just have fewer deaths, like, you're probably winning. So if Kyzentun does not get power bombs here, he's going to reset. I think it is safe to say if he does not know the speedball into Spore Spawn skip, he probably does not know the speedball out, which is really tricky. Meanwhile, Tilly's going to be going into Norfair here. Tilly, you can't do this. Tilly's about to have a bit of a rude surprise when he realizes he has no way of getting into Kraid's lair. It's pretty easy to forget because, like, normally you just always have bombs or power bombs by the time you're here. And that's the payout. Kyzentun wins pretty big off this Spo play. I'm kind of curious if that's something that gets incentivized by slowest progression. I don't know how it treats Spo. How's that? Tilly just got another super. And Wave Beam. So Tilly already has a pretty decent beam. But yeah, Kyzentun just gets one pass Bryn here if he wants to. Yeah, there's a decent chance that those are like Tilly's just gonna have to go back up and get those power bombs. So kind of interesting sequencing here from kyzentun. I honestly would have suspected or expected him to also do the Mission Impossible and the charge check first, because then you get because when you come over here, you're getting a refill on power bombs. X-ray, there's a lot of shenanigans that you can do with that. This health is good enough for Tilly to escape. Oh, he should not have farmed those. All right, makes it out okay though. So when you're leaving ice, pretty much, if you do not have like wave plasma, honestly, you shouldn't be farming those bugs really. So here's the awkward thing for Tilly now. He kind of wanted to check the crumble shaft item as well. I wonder if he saves and goes back and does that now. No, but he's just going to bubble. And kyzentun's getting all of these extra checks out of the way. So, like, decent odds he finds an E-Tank or something. I mean, even just the fact that he's going to have a Crystal Flash for bubble is kind of big. But we'll see what is here in Norfair. And yeah, so now kyzentun's going to do Mission Impossible into Charge, and even Waterway. He'll have completely done Bryn. And if he wants to, he can do a reverse meme route and go up to Wreck Ship, which I really like as a play here. And with these settings, I honestly like. I mean, he can even get climb supers with this early speed. So kyzentun, like, I almost just think that the best choice here is to do the reverse meme route. Delay Norfair as long as possible. It's unlikely with these settings that you'll be able to do a single trip of Norfair. Like, that's just kind of ridiculous to hope for. We'll see. Oh. So kyzentun doesn't save a power bomb there. There's a funny block clip you can do to save a power bomb there, which would have left him with 7. So I don't think he's gonna reverse meme route then. Because you need what? 1, 2. You need. Yeah, he didn't open the door. So now this is really bad. So let's see. So you save a power bomb here. So you spend 1, 2, 3. Oh no. He can't do Billy Mays now. Just straight up. Or well, you can with the Shine Spark, but you're not doing Old Mother Brain unless you're doing the Blue Keep. And you're not getting Climb Supers, period. Meanwhile, Tilly's fighting Croc. Bubble kind of had nothing. Oh, and kyzentun gets bailed out by the power bomb here. Tilly does have speed, so he doesn't have to mess around with any green gate glitch stuff. And he can just get all the items. It's pretty nice. He's still going for it. This is fine. I don't know how he sets it up with this sprite, but it looked like he had a visual cue. So that's cool. You can do a short charge there, leaving grapple. It's kind of tight, and it's actually really tight to be able to get to the item. Like to get the wall jumps to be able to get the height. Tilly's just leaving behind Indiana Jones, though. And kyzentun's leaving behind Climb Supers. I don't like either of those choices. Maybe kyzentun's gonna like refill at ship just so he knows he has enough health. Maybe Tilly was also refilling his health. Like he's going back for them, so this is good. Just a missile. Yeah, and grapple for Tilly. That's really nice. Now, just because he found it first doesn't necessarily put him ahead because of that grapple. Like, kyzentun's gonna do Croc. So, I mean, maybe this scenario pops up where somehow you found all the items for Sulis Meridia and you get to save a little bit of map movement. That's like the ideal. Yeah, see, actually, Tilly wanted to get hit there. So that these bugs don't get in the way of the short charge. That's true. X-ray is easier for Tilly now. Also, for the record, okay, yeah. I was about to say, Tilly can do the dev intended strat here and just swing off the Ripper. It just feels bad when your short charges break, though. And hopefully he remembers that he did not get the Croc item on the way in. Yeah, it looks like he does. kyzentun's health dipped a little low, but he's okay now. And another powerbomb pack and an E-Tank at Croc E-Tank. means Tilly should be able to have. He can go back and do the other upper Norfair checks. Because I don't believe he did reserve or wave. I think he just did speed. I might be wrong. And I don't think it really had anything, like one super, maybe. Yeah, so Kai is just leaving. Climb supers behind. I'm really not a fan of leaving anything behind in this mode. Alright, another power bomb pack for Kai. So he's going to have a much easier time when he comes down to Upper Norfair. And that's the appeal of delaying Upper Norfair, because like I said, you're not really going to be able to get a single Norfair route. Um, but you can make it so your resources are good enough that you don't necessarily have to do a bunch of farming between hell runs. I wonder if Tilly's trying to spike like just one more E-tank here before going back into bubble. Because I don't really think you leave bubble completely behind if you can avoid it. I understand though that like 3 tank hell runs really suck. Yeah, I mean that's true. You can do wreck ship and then come back. And that's what kyzentun gets to do because of that Spospo. And I think it means like even though our runners have checked radically different things, as of right now, kyzentun's just ahead. Like I think till it goes up, does red tower stuff, wreck ship, and then maybe like landing site PBs, gauntlet, into a Bryn revisit, reverse meme route up to climb supers, then moonfall back down, and go back into Bryn that way, maybe. Alright, looks like kyzentun's going for some stutter dopplers, maybe. I kind of feel like it overcomplicates it a bit. Or no, maybe he's just doing regular. But he's going for on-screen dopplers. Looks like his #1 priority here is kind of just surviving the fight too, which is a big deal. Like 2 tank, suitless, Fantun is non-trivial. Even with some of the harder stuff in Hardway to Hell Seeds, sometimes the game itself is just hard as well. Yeah, so kyzentun's playing a bit safe here. He's in 2-hit KO right now. Not getting the health drops he wants, though. Like, at all. This is comical. That's the first big energy I've seen in so long. I know his health's decent. And Fantune goes down. Better to take the extra time on the fight than take a death. And another powerbomb at X-Ray. Like, at this stage, you really want pretty much all the powerbombs the game can give you. In every seed, you are expecting to do lower Norfair Hell runs. And you know you won't have Screw or Plasma. So getting hit by stuff is pretty much just an inevitability. Honestly, the most you can hope for is that you get the high jump before LN. High jump's the best suit. High jump's just a really good item. Kyzentun. Excuse me, Kyzentun needs to be a little bit careful here. Attic can kind of ruin you on low health. This is an interesting strat. Between our two runners, I think we have somewhere around, what, 40 power bombs total? Maybe more. Actually, wait, do they have any of the same power bombs? They might be representing 50 power bombs. It's funny that they both have 25 power bombs, and they're entirely different. Scary. Yeah, a bit scary here for kyzentun. Just gonna take this nice and slow. And he's got to farm up health anyway in a sec. So yeah, I think that is the first power bomb that both runners have gotten. kyzentun really doesn't want to leave behind that super. There are only 60 supers in the seed. Yeah, he's just got to farm a bit. These bugs are actually kind of miserable to farm health off of. Oh no. There we go. That sky missile is kind of obnoxious to get. And again, kyzentun has to farm up health here now for either bowling spark or bowling spike hits. And these bugs really don't like dropping health. Now it's Tilly's Fantoon. Whoa! That flame just saved Tilly's ass. Alright, should be set up for an on-screen 3 round here. Went for some cute air Dopplers. Doesn't quite work. It's kind of annoying to get the left fast on screen. But get a pity 4th round fast, so a really nice fight. And that is time saved over kyzentun, which is what Tilly needs to make up for being significantly later to power bombs. I don't think Tilly is ahead. He still has all of Bryn and Retro Bryn to do. But we'll see. Also, at this stage in the game, I'm a bit hesitant to call anybody ahead. kyzentun does need to do... Well, yeah, kyzentun needs to do Croc, Speed, and Crate Area to catch up to Tilly. So it's probably pretty close to even. Oof. kyzentun did just take a death, or a save. So that's nice. He KO'd the Kazan. Really unfortunate. Dumb enemy. Yeah, I mean, Tilly's not going to need to fight Spore, or excuse me, Spore Spawn. Tilly is honestly probably relieved to see that there's nothing here. Gets to reset and gain all his health back. So yeah, we'll see. At this point, I think Norfair has to have progression, or it's at Climb Supers. I think everything else has been checked. Also, hopefully kyzentun gets to show off some sick blue suit stuff. going through Meridia, he has speed and X-ray. So when we end up in a situation where we're doing Suitless Meridia, there's a decent chance that kyzentun grabs a blue suit in pre-cathedral. Yeah, I don't think I really need to wish very hard for this one. I would actually be shocked if we didn't see the blue suit from Kai. I don't think there's a way to do that jump Tilly's trying to do, or tried to do, without high jump. Carrying these trippers is almost certainly slower than... Oh. I really don't like Tilly leaving that behind. There's only 60 supers in the seed. I think that's worth the time to grab. Yeah, maybe he's just health farming for a spark. That's true. kyzentun, I think, is going to X-ray deboost here, maybe. Yeah, no reserve tanks yet. I assume kyzentun, like, Crystal flashes here before the X-ray deboost. Oh, right, yeah. Of course, you need a reserve to arm mode. That's a really 6 EF sprite. Interesting strategy there. Beginning the X-ray deboost. I really don't like taking that spike hit. Oh, or that one. kyzentun's fine, but that missile drop was actually so awful. If that were so much as a small health, kyzentun would have had a chance to make it out with a faster strat. My interest is peaked. Oh, okay. He's just going for a slower strat to leave. I thought kyzentun had some sick speed no high jump tech to show us. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Wait, he can CF again. Gotta spend power bombs to keep the power bombs he just got. Kind of funny. Speaking of funny, Tilly can actually do Gauntlet Spark here. Yeah, I guess Kai's sprite is decently psychedelic. Kind of makes me think of those like scratch art things where it's just like a black sheet, and then you scratch away the cover of it, and then it's rainbow colors underneath. Wait, Tilly would need Charge Beam to do the wraparound shot. I don't think there's a chargeless wraparound shot, unfortunately. So yeah, now we're gonna have a bit of each runner retracing the other's footsteps. Yeah, unfortunately, I've never seen Predator, so can't say I'm familiar. So kind of an interesting thing here. Kyzentun, uh, I don't think he got any extra E-tanks to make Norfair easier. Or oh, maybe he got one? Was it one at high jump and one at croc? Either way, he has so many CFs. Yeah, I know there was one at croc E-tank. We'll see. If E-tanks keep being this scarce, that does increase the odds that this is a Varia seed. Which is honestly about as kind as Hardway to Hell can get. Yeah, decent chance boots show up. And I guess Meridia could just be loaded with E-tanks. Like, that's actually a pretty good chance. Okay, I was gonna say, I thought a couple times it looked like Tilly had Spring Ball. I must have missed that the first time. So yeah, Spring Ball means that high jump gives us Meridia access of pretty much everything except Precious and Dragon. Although kyzentun could do it all using his blue suit, assuming he gets a reserve. Yeah, and this was a power bomb here at ice. And a missile and crumble shaft. I'm really, really surprised actually kyzentun didn't use one of his power bombs. to kill those gamers, fire gamers. I guess he still CFs anyway, but like, could have avoided that CF potentially. I like just short charging this rather than the mock ball. Feels more safe to me, and he's hard committing to this item, which is, um, oh, okay. So Kaizentun's routing right to Croc. This is a fun way to do it. It's pretty ballsy on two tanks, honestly. And he can't get into Croc. Oh no! That's a little awkward. There's one Super, but even still, that would be a rough fight. It's kind of funny. So 21 missiles, 2 supers. This isn't bad, but it's not really what I would call ideal. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3. 8. That's a really bad miss. I really wish kyzentun would have spent longer farming and just used Nutella refill here. He's really relying on Croc doing what he wants. This should be enough to get him all the way there. One more farm doesn't hurt though. Oh, and a super. That's really nice. So first new check from Tilly in a while, or first new check is going to be coming up soon from Tilly and Climb Supers. There we go. Kyzentun could make it across here if he wants and make it back. But he's going to just play it a bit safe, which is fair. You can also get a spike suit here if you are willing to carry it. Yeah, the seed has been quite generous with power bombs. Honestly, these seeds, at least with the default hardway to hell settings, tend to front load ammo a lot because ammo is not progression. Or I should say, once ammo is not progression anymore, they tend to front load ammo. Just because of force slowest progression. Yeah, Kaizentun's gonna have grapple soon, which means he won't have to worry at all about going to Crocky tank. But even without that, it's not a big deal. And it is a vanilla climb super. That's kind of unfortunate for Kyzentun to skip, but it's not the end of the world. Like, he doesn't lose outright to that. Uh, if we had $1 for every time someone in chat asked what the hell kyzentun sprite is, we'd have a non-zero number of dollars. Feels like it's happened a lot. Kyzentun is a bit of a and he gets a bit avant-garde with his sprites. Mad scientist of sprites, I like that too. Alright, yep, now Tilly's going back into Upper North Fair. So our runners are not going to be very far off from each other at all. Kyzentun will be a bit ahead, but Tilly will have an extra super. Nice use of spring ball there. I would kind of expect Tilly to backdoor Cathedral. We'll see though. I mean I don't know. Yeah, he might want to do it on the way. With this health though, I'm not sure. I would prefer to save scum it. I think save scumming Cathedral is so much better in a mode where like there's a I think a greater than 25% chance that it's nothing. I hope Tilly isn't just like uh I mean I guess he's not that far off from farming to full. Was there an item at Croc Escape? Was it a super? Huh. Does Tilly have those supers? Okay. I guess he does. I thought there had been a super at Speed Booster, but maybe not. So our runners are really well synced right now. After all that divergence. Oh my god. Kyzentun does still have an extra speed to do, and he is rushing Cathedral. This is fine. He's a bit on the struggle bus right now, but he's got the CF. And after Tilly looks everywhere else for a fourth E-Tank and a fifth E-Tank, they were just right here in wave. Oh, that reserve tank's big deal. You gotta keep that. Your first reserve is huge, honestly. Tilly will have an easier time keeping it though. But I'm pretty sure that means Norfair Reserve has to be like exactly high jump boots. G mode stuff is not in logic. Nothing with X-ray is pretty much. That's true. I guess it's in logic to use X-ray to see fake passages. Except for Lower North Fire Escape. Can't see the fake passage there. Uh, well, that's not high jump boots. Not to be mean to the runners, but that's a little bit boring. Makes the seat a heck of a lot faster, though. Yeah, it seems like there are a lot of people who uh, never really found the correct way to escape LN playing casually. It is pretty silly. Like, you are given an item that shows you fake blocks and hidden passageways, and then in one that is absolutely required for you to progress onward in the game, it just doesn't work. Anyway, Meridia is trivial now. Which unfortunately means kyzentun doesn't really get to show off his blue suit stuff. Also, that does mean that like if you feel Tilimorf, if you're Tilimorf, you feel really bad for having bailed on the upper Norfair checks that were two E-tanks and gravity. I get why you would bail on the upper Norfair though. It does mean that we're doing Variolous LN though, which is always exciting. And it also means Meridia has to have um let's think, at least two E-tanks. That would bring us to 8 with that reserve that kyzentun found in Cathedral. Yeah, it's possible Tilly's simply forgotten about Cathedral. If that's the only easily accessible reserve tank, that's kind of huge. Because one reserve tank is worth more than an E tank when it comes to hell runs. Yeah, there's been at least one race with these settings, the default hardway to hell, but there was another hardway to hell race that was like Space Jump Hunt. Yeah, vanilla map, vanilla bosses. Once you add in area rando, hardway to hell stuff gets kind of insane. It can be really befuddling to follow the logic. Yeah, there was one race yesterday that was all four of the Terizos plus three golden four bosses. That's the space jump hunt settings. This is just default hardway to hell. So kill all G4 bosses. I conveniently placed E-Tank. Oh, that was almost a one-run Batoon. So Kaizenten's doing the simpler version. Oh, you want that space jump? The simpler version of this short charge to get Main Street Missile, but is also he's believing in it, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I don't believe anyone's chosen Door Cap Rando yet, which makes sense because Door Cap Rando is not fun in my opinion. Oh, is there? Some people are really into Door Cap Rando. Space jump and charge. That charge beam is nice insurance and honestly not much else. If we found ice, it's arguably a different story, but charge wave phaser shots on Ridley aren't really anything. um oh, that's not true. You can X Factor Ridley actually. So Doorcap Rando, which is one of the settings for Hardway to Hell that can be turned on, essentially randomizes all of the or some of the doors in the game, the color that they are, and locks them behind the various beams. So it adds like ice, wave, and spacer doors, and normally plasma, but Hardway to Hell removes plasma. So it basically adds a lot of arbitrary gates to the game in the beams. And there's Ice Beam. It's nice for Meridia, and it does mean that like 2 charge shots equals 1 super if we're in a situation where that's relevant. So tanks are still low, and no high jump boots sucks, but otherwise, it's not the worst LN ever by any means. Um, I don't like the plasma skip here. Also, I'm pretty sure this route is not faster if you're going to be doing sand pits, which I have to imagine Tilly is. I have trouble believing that he would just go into LN on 6 tanks. Oh, right. He hasn't done sand pits. That's why he didn't go to plasma. Yeah, you want your 8 logical tanks for LN. Our runners don't have to lava dive. They can even do a lava spark if they so desire, which is pretty sick. So that's the last super. Tilly says no for now. It's possible if the other pit doesn't have anything better, then he goes back for that super. But the 60th super isn't a huge deal. Alright, Kaizensen's about to start his Dragon fight now. Alright, so we logically don't need to see any more E-Tanks before LN. Hopefully Tilly remembers Cathedral. And he's taking this into at least Plasma first. It's possible if Plasma doesn't have something, he takes it back down to... Wait, no, he's just leaving. I guess Tilly's good with going on 7. I mean, if you can do this, it's huge. Personally, I would feel a million times better about doing this on 7 tanks if I did have high jump boots. I'd even be happy to get rid of space jump and replace it with high jump boots just because it gives you that PRKD movement. Alright, kyzentun's fight is over pretty quickly. This is why you pick up space jump on the way in. I would also feel a lot better here if Tilly had a singular reserve. But alas, some sick farming here for kyzentun of power bombs. But with this many E-tanks missing, LN kind of has to be loaded with E-tanks. Like, you can almost count on Hardway to Hell LNs having more E-tanks than normal. I'm not really sure what Tilly's farming for. I'd kind of rather he have taken the Croc save. But it's not a big deal. And the odds of him dying here with a gravity space jump lava dive are really low. Yeah, see, easy money. Yeah, I guess he was missing like 1 or 2 supers. Yeah, I not really sure why Kai didn't check plasma being right there. That's kind of the advantage of this kind of route. Alright, Tilly can make it here without using a CF. Oh, that made it so much scarier. He can still do this though. He would need the unmorph in the air. He just needs to get in the door. Okay, thank God. So that's really nice. Yeah, and our runners still don't have bombs, which is not nothing. That E-Tank is kind of huge. So, like, not having bombs means you're using extra power bombs, and it kind of ruins your manips. But yeah, that E-Tank is really nice to see. Poor Ridley. Or the reserve tank, rather. Oh. Okay, this is kind of sketch for Tilly, but he has the ability to CF. This seed's actually been pretty nice for Hardway to Hell seed. Like, I don't think you can find a seed nicer than this. I think you try to take out all the pirates here and then CF. Ah, that pirate's not dead. I hope Tilly realizes. Looked like kyzentun was struggling with that cake glitch just a bit. I wonder if Tilly does attempt, or at least do the one free X Factor in order to save Super Zone Ridley. I kind of disagree with skipping Mickey Mouse there. Like, there are so many E-Tanks left in this seed that you know there's a pretty good chance one of them is going to be there. Tilly's supers are kind of rough. Alright, there's an E-Tank here. It's not exactly easy breezy lemon squeezy for Tilly yet, but it's a lot better than it was. I am worried about those supers, though. He's gonna have to do a lot of farming. So, Hardway to Hell. A maximum of one suit is in the seed. Could be zero, but you can't have both Varia and Gravity. 60%, or rather 40% of the ammo is missing, so only 60% of it is available. Every trick in Varia is in Logic, and Screw Attack and Plasma have been removed from the game. It is the slowest progression speed. It's kind of miserable. Settings. Yeah, I mean, this is nightmare mode. Like, this is about as nice as a Hardway to Hell seed gets, and it's still not going to be a sub 90 seed. So, Tilly's going to have to do quite a bit of farming. He can do another CF after farming if he wants to farm up to 40 plus supers. Also, I do hope that he uses X Factor to save two supers. Oh, nice missile drop. This is sketch. It's not that sketch, but like this is kind of scary. Like Tilly needs good patterns from Ridley, and not to get hit at all. That's it. It's over. If he had 200 health, maybe. Yeah. I would estimate he still has one more attempt to stay ahead of kyzentun. Kyzentun's skipping out on a reserve tank. That's not a huge deal. We'll see if he checks Mickey Mouse. And again, this is where using those supers, and kyzentun's doing the same thing here, it really hurts you. Like you can't get hit by these metal pirate or these golden pirates because they do 2 tanks of health per hit. But you can actually save 3 supers with a grouping strat in worst room. Yeah, and see, like I said, like there's so many E-tanks that are guaranteed to be here in LN that I think it just made sense to check Mickey Mouse. If kyzentun wanted to, he could skip the tank in Firefleece and save it for the way out. Oh, right, the gravity, yeah. Both runners are using different sprites. I completely forgot that they both have gravity. So each metal pirate only does 50, which is still a lot, but that's like sometimes it's almost just worth it to take the hit. We'll see if kyzentun decides to pick up this E-tank. He does. So like it totally makes sense to hold on to it, and then you have that E-tank throughout, and you know, every time you CF, you are gaining additional health. The argument to not pick it up is then that's basically an extra CF on the way out. I think Tilly's farming up for another CF this time. It's going to be more time consuming, but he has the power bombs for it, and it's going to make his Ridley way safer. And okay, I kind of think checking PPs of Shame is a little crazy, but kyzentun gets rewarded. So Tilly needs to win this attempt, basically. But it's really close now. And that extra health for kyzentun, it means so much. Plus, kyzentun has another reserve over Tilly. Oh, right. Kyzentun does not have another reserve over Tilly because he bailed on the GT check. I don't like Tilly jumping in the air here. That actually changes release pattern potentially. It really sucked not having Screw to manipulate Ridley here. Oh, God. Tilly's fine, but hopefully he gets good super drops here. Good enough. He might decide to farm up a second CF. And that E-Tank is big. I get the rationale for farming a second CF. He is using health to do it, but it's honestly fine. As long as you're just farming for supers. Is he bailing on it? And Kaizensen's using the X Factor, nice. I answer a question in chat. No, gravity does not have any heat reduction in this mode. Alright, so Tilly should not be a hero and just use his CF like right here. He made it into the save station. That's insane. Please don't be a hero. Like, don't bring your run within a key hunter's breath. So like Tilly doesn't have another CF here, which is why like once you've committed to I'm gonna farm supers for another CF, you have to keep going till you get those supers. Especially since Tilly actually has the knowledge that there are no more supers. Uh, it's not possible for him to come across any. I can't believe he didn't get hit by either of those seahorses. Okay, there's just an E-Tank here though, so it's... I'm not gonna say it's free, but it's pretty free, especially with gravity. So Kyzentun, as long as he checks, that will have an easy time as well. Yeah, Three Musketeers is not nearly as bad if you do have gravity. 50 damage per hit versus 200 is noticeable. That E-Tank shows up just when Kyzentun needs it most. And I mean, now, Mans has 13 E-Tanks. He's going to be okay. So this race is like super close. Only issue is like not that it's over by any means, but Tilimorf does have the movement edge, I'm inclined to say, which makes it a bit hard for kyzentun to get any time back at this stage. Yeah, so this is about as fast as these seats get. I mean, Tilly was able to get away with skipping a few checks, which is kind of insane. I'll be curious to see where high jump is. There's a few places it could be. It could be in GT room, it could be Plasma, Shack Tool, um, Hoda Special, and Franker Z, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, Mother Brain stand-up glitch is allowed. That's not a major glitch. That's allowed in every category. You just can't do it unless you have at least 7 tanks. It's not the biggest time save here, so we might not necessarily see runners go for it. Um, you can probably save, I don't know, if you're insane and know how to do 2 cry without high jump boots for some baffling reason, maybe you can save like over 10 seconds. And that's really such a pretty ship color. I like that a lot. That's a pretty blue. Is that like a, what do you call that? Like a stormy gray or something? Stormy gray blue. And let's see the difference in G4 times here. So that is 128, 30 door close from Tilimorf. And 129, 12 or 13. So is that not quite a minute? Until I morph, I imagine. I was gonna say expect a damage down for a baby skip skip. If he gets this baby skip, he's kind of a legend. Yeah, just. You know. So yeah, with that charge beam, no reason to worry about being stingy on ammo. Alright, just a Mother Brain 2 fight separates Tilly from victory. He does need to be a little careful here, because he doesn't have Arya. Mother Brain's beam still does 600 damage, which it's easy to forget, and damage down to 300. But I'm sure that won't happen here. Yeah, I mean, if you've never accidentally damaged down too far for Mother Brain, then you're just not a rando player, I think. It'll happen eventually. Or maybe you're just extremely good at rando. Yeah, one Mother Brain 2 between Tilly and kyzentun. Unfortunately, there's nowhere at this point that kyzentun can really make up the difference. Stand-up wouldn't be enough, as long as Tilly doesn't have an absolute shambles of an escape. That'll be fine. Fortunately, though, this is a double elimination tournament, so kyzentun will not be eliminated. He will be facing the loser of Sunwoo Farmer and myself, and then Tilimorf, assuming nothing goes horribly wrong, will be facing the winner of Sunwoo Farmer and myself. Yeah, kyzentun is doing stand-up. This is time to gain back, but Tilimorf is already past however much time kyzentun could have saved. Some people are sort of like there are sort of two schools of like, I'm not going to do stand-up, but pretty much unless I have plasma. And then there's, if I can save time with stand-up, I'll save time with stand-up. There's no delay here besides standard stream delay. So we're maybe 30 seconds behind them with SpeedGaming and whatnot. About 40 seconds, okay. No 10-minute delay. This is very much a for fun tournament. Not that other tournaments aren't for fun per se, but especially when there's money involved, it makes sense to have a delay. Here, I like not having it personally. And delay is somewhat new to Super Metroid, actually. Aw, sick left side spark. Thank you, Tilly. Some nice ledge grabs here. That's not easy with speed no high jump. I can't wait to see where speed is, by the way. And with that, Tilimorf does finish in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 6 seconds. GG. Let's see if he wants to come in for an interview. But in the meantime, shortly behind, while jumping his way up the climb, kyzentun is close to finishing out. Unless he does something like save those pesky animals. I forget if Animal Surprise is on in these settings. I don't think so. Just normal animals. Frankly, I think Animal Surprise should always be on, but it's just always the one that instantly kills you. But we are joined now by the winner of today's race, Tilimorf. GG.
Hello, GG.
GG. And also, kyzentun did just finish in second place with an official race time.gg time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 34 seconds. GG to kyzentun. Looks like he's in the waiting room right now, about to come up. And we are joined now by kyzentun as well. GG. Really close race for these settings, honestly.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be this close, but then I was thinking about it at the end. I was thinking, well, that gravity was there, and nothing else was really hard, so maybe this will be too close.
Yeah, it was a pretty straightforward seed.
Yeah. Did you fight Spore Spawn?
No, I did not.
Ah.
Yeah, you were able to have a more efficient route in that regard by fighting Spore Spawn till he didn't get his first power bombs until Ice. But till he was able to save some time on like general movement, not having to fight Spore Spawn, till he never checked. I think the only thing, Tilly, that you didn't check was Cathedral, that kyzentun did, and then kyzentun skipped Climb Supers, which was
that Climb Supers was haunting me the entire seed. I was thinking, what if Climb Supers was important?
Yeah.
It was just a super.
Yeah, it was kind of a
I
crazy seed, though. Like, we got to the point where it was like, okay, it almost has to be high jump boots at Norfair Reserve, and then it was just.
And then it was gravity instead.
Yeah.
Oh, GT had high jump. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, not grabbing that. At least it was the supers and not the missile.
Yeah, I was planning to go and check the screw attack room for another tank. Figured that was useful. But then I missed the green gate glitch like 10 times and decided, okay, that's enough resources wasted, I'll move on.
I did end up getting to GT, but it was just a reserve tank, which actually was quite helpful now that I think about it.
Yeah, so Cathedral had kyzentun's reserve tank. So you each ended up getting a reserve tank, the other didn't. And, I mean, the first reserve tank is huge. The second one is really just a tank.
Yeah. And I really wanted that reserve in case there was no gravity, or gravity was actually buried deeper than it was.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing we didn't get to see any blue suit stuff from you.
Yeah, I'm disappointed too. I was thinking about getting one just to carry through Lower Norfair for the fun of it, but then your movement's so much slower when you can't dash.
Yeah, when your health is draining, that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, the only place I measured it was, I think, Lower Norfair Escape, where it cost you like 3 more tanks to get out. So, not really worth it.
Yeah. But, yeah, pretty... about as cozy as these seats get.
Yeah. I think the only faster time that I had in practice was a Chozo seed. And the Chozo seeds are, of course, really cozy.
Right. Yeah, it's just not that many options.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed to find gravity because almost all of my practice has been suitless Meridia stuff.
Yeah.
It was a fun seed. Lots
It's really uncommon to find Varia in these.
yeah, I feel the same. I think
Yeah.
I only had 2 practice seeds that didn't have, or that did have Varia of the many that I ran. GG, that was actually, I'm surprised by how close that race was.
Hmm.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to be that close. I was thinking, okay, probably within a few minutes, but not that close.
Yeah, and so with this, it is a double elimination tournament. So, kyzentun, you're not out of it. You are going to be going on to face the loser of Sunwoo Farmer and myself.
Yeah, I'm going to be facing Sun Farmer.
Oh,
I'm not like I know Sun Farmer very well, but I think Glove is better.
I appreciate it. We'll see. I mean, some crazy stuff can happen these seats. Meanwhile, Tilly, you will be facing the winner of that race.
I see. Nice.
So,
Well, good luck.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously hoping to win. I think, trying to think, I feel like we've raced in tournament before at some point, but it must have been a while.
Yeah, Sun Farmer's been in the Rando League and a bunch of other tournaments, so
Hmm.
there's probably a chance that you've met up somewhere along the way.
But yeah, regardless, any closing comments from either of you?
Thanks for showing up for the late night comms. I think
Yeah, happy to
I'd
help.
rather be asleep.
Yeah, thank you. I'll definitely have to watch it back. And thanks for commentating and tracking and everyone putting on this tournament. And see you next time, I guess, in a couple weeks.
Awesome. Well, with that, that is going to do it for now from us here at Speed Gaming. For future races, we don't have anything on the schedule yet until next Friday, actually, which is going to be Colors versus our tracker, Gwen. But it's possible another match or two might show up before then. But in the meantime, be sure to go follow both of these runners. Go follow kyzentun, go follow Tilimorf, and if you would be so kind, follow our broadcast team. We've had Not Now Gwen on tracking. I've been Glove on comms, and from all of us here at Speed Gaming, we'll see you next mission.